Hi, I'm Karan Bose, founder of Hula Global and your mentor for Masterclass and the 3-day bootcamp workshop. If you're thinking of starting a fashion brand or if you have already started but feeling overwhelmed or drained out, then you are in the right place. For the last several years, I have worked across India, Bangladesh, Vietnam with more than 200 brands from early stage founders to enterprise retailers. I've spent thousands of hours inside factories with suppliers on production floors, fixing sampling issues, saving failed orders, setting up sourcing systems, and helping founders avoid the mistakes that usually cost them months and a lot of money. And here is what I have learned: most founders do not fail because they lack creativity. They fail because they do not understand the business of fashion, whether it's MOQs, MOVs, landed price, customs, margins, fabric choices, business models, distribution, supply chain, wholesale, whatnot. And it can be overwhelming. Moreover, nobody is teaching this. So everyone is taking a blind guess, taking a plunge, and figuring out along the way. I'll talk about Masterclass and why we started Masterclass or the bootcamp. But before that, I want to give you a quick background about us and most importantly about me. I started my career with Uniqlo, the Japanese fast fashion brand. I was based in their Tokyo headquarters, and somewhere around 2013 I moved back to India and I started my own fashion brand. Now, when I started my fashion brand, I realized that I was spending too much time on things that were not even productive for me, or they were not even productive for the growth of my company. I was spending enormous amount of time chasing suppliers, figuring out fabrics, how to store the fabrics, what are tech packs, what are every little detail. Despite having experience in this industry, I was only exposed to certain part, not the entire ecosystem, and it was overwhelming for me. And I always wondered, what if there was some sort of service provider who would just bail me out so that I can just focus on my business. And eventually that brand did not work out, but somehow our services kind of clicked with the brands that we were collaborating back then in 2013-14. And since then we worked until COVID with pretty much every big retailer you can think of, from US, from Australia, from UK. We worked with every major brand, every major retailer. So when COVID hit in 2020, we were negatively impacted. Most of our customers, the large retail chains, they either canceled orders or they simply denied paying us. And from customers, they really went fast to our litigation list. And this was the time and place, I would say, where we were in a really, really bad situation as a company. And we decided we cannot always depend on these large retail companies. Of course, they give large volumes to us, but we have to build a base of startups and smaller brands. So by the time it was 2020, we were pretty much priced out for most of the startups. So our MOQs typically would be 50,000 pieces or 100,000 units. So for a small brand or a small startup, they would never even think about us. And when COVID hit and we were looking how we can diversify, how we can have some startups working with us, apparently the way our system was built, it was not built in a way to support startups at all. In fact, to support any small quantities at all. It was all about volumes, volumes, volumes. So in 2020, post-COVID, everything changed significantly. And we decided how we can help. So I wrote a book, How to Start a Fashion Brand. It is still on Amazon. If you have Kindle Unlimited, you can read it for free. So while I was writing that book, I was also having discussions with pretty much all the brands, especially the brand owners that we did not work with, and they went with someone else, a smaller supplier, a boutique supplier. And I had numerous conversations in those 2, 3 years before I finally published the book. And it was all about their challenges, what are the things they made some hasty decisions, what are the things they are proud of, the good, the bad, and the ugly. So all of that I put together in that book, which was published I think in 2023. And from 2023 till end of 2025, we have worked on and off basis with quite a few small startups, without, not as a supplier, but more as mentor, through our accelerator program, through our creator partnerships. And we fine tune this masterclass as well as our delivery for the bootcamp, like what needs to be there, what needs to be communicated, how it has to be communicated, all those things. So that brings us to now at masterclass, where we tell you broadly this is the overall business model. If you talk about fashion as a business, if you talk about fashion as a hobby, that's fine. That's not our place to be. It's your hobby and good for you. But if you are serious about fashion as a business, you need to understand different components from a business model point of view. And that's what the masterclass is about. It gives you a very high helicopter view, roadmap kind of thing. Now, after masterclass, you can do it yourself. You will have enough information, knowledge to do it yourself, but you have to spend countless hours in that. We have compressed our acceleration program, which was earlier 6 months long. We have compressed it into 3 days. And with those 3 days, we are delivering the execution to you. So in those 3 days, the knowledge that you learned in masterclass, we build upon it and we expand. And there is a separate video what we cover in bootcamp. So you will see the 9 modules spread across 3 days. They deep dive in every aspect. We deep dive in funding, how you can finance your brand. We deep dive into alternate business models like surplus, wholesale, liquidation, all those things. We also talk about sampling. So sampling is the most underrated topic for any fashion business, but it is the most crucial one. If you don't get your sampling right, you are screwed. So we dedicate an entire module only on sampling and various aspects of sampling. So make sure, if you are serious about the fashion business and execution, and if you are a working professional, you are lagging time, you are wasting a lot of energy running around, I would highly recommend that you participate in our bootcamp. And if you're not sure if the bootcamp is right for you or not, then make sure you participate in our masterclass. We usually conduct masterclass once a month. So make sure you are participating in the masterclass. You will get a broad idea, a feel whether you want to join the bootcamp or not. So even if you do not want to join the bootcamp right now and you feel it's a little expensive, go for the masterclass. It's fine. We also have a co-pilot program. I think in our programs menu you can see co-pilot, and we talk about various aspects of co-pilot. So under co-pilot, we split our fixed cost from a variable cost. We give you the same pricing and the same execution capabilities and the quality of a private label brand at the MOQs of co-pilot. So this is the differentiation, and we have a separate video for co-pilot. I will link it in the description so you can go and watch that video, and also link to co-pilot program. So that's about it. We are here to help you launch and scale your fashion brand, and we are not doing out of generosity. The whole idea is that at some point in future, out of 100, even if we are able to convert 5 of you as our client successfully, it will be a ROI well paid. So that is the reason we are putting our heart and soul into a masterclass, into a boot camp, into a co-pilot, is that we scale you up to a certain level where one day you become a private label customer for us.